On this episode, we discuss nuclear saber rattling, hacking a nuclear submarine, fake reporting on British anti-tank weapons, the Sydney Sweeney American Eagle ad, and more. Okay, let's go.
Conflict, politics, military-industrial complex, technology, war. The Flash Traffic Podcast.
Again, depending on the range, I got all that. And then also she's got a suppressor. If you're in the business of concealing your position, understanding you're at a disadvantage, you want to do everything to prevent, stronger government forces finding you, fixing you, and destroying you, because they will. But anyways, the whole
interesting
kind of jogs you a little bit of like, what are we talking about here? Like, I get it. But part of my book is blowing up the myths of sniping, where it's a dude in a ghillie suit hidden in a bush whacking someone from 1,500 meters away. That could be that, but also it could be a guy in the back of a van, like in Iraq, shooting you from 75 meters. It could be that too.
Did you know that guy in that holds the record? You probably know this. He used to, what's his name? Sanjay Smith. What's his name?
Which guy are you talking about?
The Finnish guy.
Simo Hayha. Probably butchering his name. Simohayha.
He used to put snow in his mouth. Did you know that? So he wouldn't off vapor, exhale little puffs of clouds so they could find him. He put snow in his mouth. Yeah.
I think he killed another 250 guys with a submachine gun as well. That was just his sniper kills. And then I know he got wounded in the face. His face was disfigured from an injury. I don't know, an explosion maybe. Maybe he was literally shot in the face. But
that's amazing. So how many kills did he have? 500?
Probably 750 total.
What? That's a lot of dead Russians.
It's like 2 battalions.
Good for him. You want to talk about global thermonuclear war? Because that's where we're headed.
Let's do it. Let's talk about the Russian
1 weekend
saber rattling.
It takes 1 weekend and we're already to global thermonuclear war. How quick was that? That was pretty quick.
It's as quick as Medvedev can reach the vodka bottle and take another hit to put him in a drunken alcoholic stupor. That's as fast as that takes.
It's amazing. Not that guy has any kind of pull in the Kremlin or Russia. What a
He's
moron.
A stooge.
Anyway, so let's backtrack a little bit. So this is how it happened. This is how we got to the brink of nuclear war, which we are on now.
Yes, we are.
And of course, I am being, fantastic because that's what sells newspapers is fantastic bullshit. Like we're on the brink of global nuclear war.
Correct.
Which I'm sure there's plenty of headlines out there. But climbing the nuclear escalation ladder. So on Tuesday, 29 July, Trump changed course again and said, instead of 50 days, you get until August 8th, Russia, to end this war.
So is that like 30 days now?
No, it was less. August 8th. That's in 4 days.
No. Oh, right. But when did he firstly give the ultimatum? So he made it 10 days.
He gave him 10 days.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. So drunken buffoon former Russian president Dmitry Medvedev.
Mev? What comes first?
Medvedev. So the emphasis on Medvedev.
Okay.
Medvedev.
Drunken Russian lackey.
Moron stooge. I guess his only job now is to just act like Russia is going to start a nuclear war. Is that his job?
I wonder if he's got a contract that says you will do this 3 times a month. I wonder if he's under contract to do this.
He's got a quota.
He's quota
or maybe
driven.
He just.
Yeah.
I think he just responds to whatever. Anytime the West does anything, then he responds with nuclear saber rattling.
That he doesn't like.
That's his job. I think he's on the National Security Council, but don't quote me. Which probably means nothing.
That is so reassuring in
It probably
so
means
many
nothing.
ways. So many ways that's reassuring.
I don't think that means anything in Russia.
Oh
but
my
anyways,
God.
so he retaliates for the shortening of the deadline.
Okay.
By his usual rant, we're going to start nuclear war. Trump needs to be careful. We're still a nuclear superpower. I don't know if he said superpower. I hope he did not. They're just a nuclear power. They're like North Korea, or they will be in a couple years. But Medvedev said, quote,
Medvedev.
He said, quote,
the listenership knows what you mean. They know what you mean.
Medvedev.
They're like, we got you.
How dangerous the fabled dead hand can be is what he referenced, which is a secret. The dead hand. I'm glad you brought it up.
What the fuck is that?
If you want to know more about the dead hand, I recommend this book here.
Oh, God.
By David Hoffman, 2010, The History of Dead Hand, and also Cold War, like viruses and all the bad shit we were doing. Anyways, the dead hand was a Russian system, I guess, where if the high command lost contact, let's say everybody's dead, there was a nuclear war, a automated system would retaliate with whatever nuclear weapons were remaining. The ballistic missiles in the holes.
Yeah, I sure got a lot of confidence in that they wouldn't fuck that up.
Yeah, apparently
tons of confidence.
This is a good book. I don't recommend a lot of books except for Mineral Warfare and The Dead Hand.
Thank you. Thank you.
This won a Pulitzer in 2010, so it is a legit good book. I'm sure Mineral Warfare will win the Pulitzer for 2026.
Dude, it's a cool title. I mean, they got the title down. They rocked that. He nailed it.
He was I think he was a WAPO senior editor.
Jesus, he knows his shit. Yeah.
Yeah, he knows some shit. He was on the Russian desk. Blah blah. They're all on the Russian desk.
He knows his shit.
Anyways, so apparently, according to that book, I think a captain is like an army captain was in charge of the dead hand sequence or something like that.
Is that kind of like the first lieutenant who's the head of testing army drone warfare?
Yes, exactly. Have you ever seen a drone drop a nuclear bomb?
Oh, God.
Yeah, anyways.
That was a dead hand. They had a captain running the whole thing.
The captain was in charge of the. Now, I don't remember. It's been a while since I read that book. But I think it was a captain.
It makes sense. A dude with 4.5 years of service in.
In charge of the entire
global nuclear exchange,
future of humanity.
Makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense.
He can only get drunk 4 days a week because he's in charge of that.
Because he's responsible for it. Okay.
Yes. Anyways, so Medvedev goes off on this rant. And Trump gave him the one thing that every shitposting Twitter moron desires more than anything in the world.
Coverage?
He gave him acknowledgement. He actually acknowledged this stupid fuckhead. Oh, my God. Okay, let's go to the Trump
good Lord.
Truth Social post.
Oh, my God.
This is what Trump said. Trump said, based on the highly provocative statements of the former president of Russia, Dmitry Medvedev, who is now the deputy chairman of the Security Council of the Russian Federation, I have ordered 2 nuclear submarines to be positioned in the appropriate regions.
Who cares?
Just in case these foolish and inflammatory statements are more than just that. Words are very important and can often lead to unintended consequences. I hope this will not be one of those instances. And then he ends with the traditional, thank you for your attention on this matter, which is basically Trump speak for, and fuck you. So.
Wow. Yeah. One brain surgeon talking to another brain surgeon.
Exactly. Medvedev is basically Trump if Medvedev was still the president.
Correct.
He would be the Russian Trump.
Correct.
Two idiots yelling at each other
100%
on
nailed
Twitter
it. Nailed
or
it.
Trump's social or whatever. But God, I can't believe Trump actually acknowledged this frickin' moron. I can't. Why did he do that? Well, we know why he did that. He's Trump, but still, why even give him the attention? Because that's what he was dying for, dying to get that
relevance in the conversation. Yeah. I got it.
It's like the American Eagle stock went up today. Did you hear this? American Eagle
stock
went up today.
Dude. I don't know what that is.
It's like a clothing company, but they had this.
Okay. Oh, that's what you're talking. I don't know what you're talking about. You're talking about a clothing company. I got you.
Yes. So American Eagle ran this ad with Sydney Sweeney, who is a hot blonde actress.
Okay, I'll give her her due.
Oh, hot white blonde actress.
I'll give her due.
If you haven't seen this commercial, since it's in the zeitgeist right now, I will play it so you can take care of that, and you can tell all your friends you've heard the commercial or seen it if you're watching this on YouTube.
Parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has her genes.
Yeah.
And apparently the controversy is
for hearing that vapid, idiotic fucking clothing ad. I'm stupider for listening to her. Okay. Now that we're past that.
The controversy is apparently the far left liberals are saying, hey, this is racist because you mentioned genes in a non-genocide context. And it had a white person. It's stupid. So of course all the right.
So who has a beef with this?
The liberals, because it's racist. Because you mentioned the word jeans, referring
it's
to
literally
clothing.
A gene company. It's a play on words. They're being snarky.
This has nothing to do with genetics, the final solution, Nazism. Whatever you want, it has nothing to do with that, obviously. But
I have good genes. She's got a beef with that. Or they got a beef with that.
Yeah, and so now all the wacko right wingers are jumping on and saying this is great. This is what a beautiful actress. And Trump said something like that. He posted on Truth Central something like that. I'm not pulling it up. She
is a beautiful actress. Yeah, that's why she's that's why she's there.
So they're picking this. This is their battlefield. This is the final confrontation. The Sydney Sweeney commercial between.
This is a nothing burger.
What the hell?
This is nothing burger.
Oh my God. So Trump moves. Get this. This will not make any sense to anyone that knows anything about submarines or missiles or nuclear war or anyone that watched war games in the 80s.
Good movie.
Good movie. Anyone that watched anything, they will be like, this doesn't make any sense. Here's the headline from AP. Trump orders U.S. nuclear subs repositioned over statements from ex-Russian leader Medvedev. So basically he's saying he moved to nuclear, and I put that in quotes, so we don't know if it's like boomers, like Ohio-class submarine, nuclear missile subs or nuclear-powered subs.
I thought you meant old people. Okay.
Yeah, or boomers, a submarine full of old people. And so we don't know whether it's boomers or nuclear powered subs. It doesn't matter. That's not how submarines work. You don't move them closer. Like the Atlantic Ocean is close enough. Like if you don't know anything about a Trident missile,
he's got to get in the Black Sea. The range of our nuclear missiles are about 150 kilometers.
Yes.
They got to be parked off of Murmansk.
We must sneak Ohio-class submarine, which is gigantic.
Yes.
They have like exercise machines between the silos.
So the sailors don't go crazy?
I've been on one once.
Okay.
And they're going to try to move that through the Bosphorus Straits into the Black Sea. I think that's a beautiful idea. They need permission from the Turkish government to do that.
Brilliant.
Cool. Apparently.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So that's not for you out there listening that lack any kind of knowledge on how missiles work. If you're not familiar with intercontinental ballistic missiles, they actually go from one continent to the other, and you don't have to get close. And there's on a Ohio class submarine, a boomer, there are apparently 20 Trident II missiles.
That's a lot.
Each of those missiles can carry up to 12 MIRVs.
That's a lot.
Warheads, multiple independently tracked reentry vehicles, MIRVs. So each one of those missiles break into like 10 little mini missiles when they get over the target continent. And I don't exactly know how far a MIRV can go from the base missile.
They can do it. They can go a little bit.
So what's the math on that? 20 times 12, 20 missiles times 12 warheads. How many cities could you kill? That's impossible to do that math. But if you could, 240 cities could be destroyed by one. That's one submarine. I don't think Trump understands about submarines. Do you think they're like, do you think he thinks they're boats?
He does.
Wouldn't this be better just to move? Like if he wanted to make a statement, wouldn't aircraft carriers be like a carrier strike group?
It is nonsensical.
Right?
That's not how the weapon system works, even a little bit. You don't move anything.
No.
It is made up posturing to respond to Medvedev's made up posturing.
Exactly.
That's all it is. I mean, it's made up posturing.
This is just two fools doing foolish things with nuclear weapons.
But it makes the news line. It is something to talk about, and we're talking about it, and you can digest it.
Does it just seem like Trump is doing something to do something? Like he's just responding?
Correct.
And he's like, we're serious about this 10-day deadline. If you don't really have a ceasefire in 10 days, we're going to move something else around that's underwater that shouldn't be moved, right? The whole point of a nuclear submarine is don't move it. Don't. It's supposed to be hiding all the time. I think we only have 12 that are operational. You don't want the Russians to like Red October them and find out where they are, right?
This is so preposterous. Like, I don't even know what to say.
Buffoonery. Here's Trump on the tarmac in front of Marine One talking. God. This is just Trump talking. Let's just listen to him talk.
Oh God.
Let's hear him say things. Okay? Because what the fuck? Because that's what he does.
Additional scam.
On Russia, Mr. President, can you say, have those nuclear submarines been deployed yet to face Russia?
I've already put out a statement, and the answer is they are in the region, yeah, where they have to be.
Do you know what Steve Witkoff's message will be to the Russians? Is there anything they can do to avoid sanctions at this point?
Yeah, get a deal where people stop getting killed. They had a number that just came out that a tremendous number of Russian soldiers are being killed. And likewise, Ukraine, a lower number, but still thousands and thousands of people. And now we're adding towns where they're being hit by missiles. So it's a lot of people being killed in that ridiculous war. And, we stopped a lot of countries from war, India and Pakistan. We stopped a lot of countries. And
ridiculous shit.
Filler. Okay.
He stopped a bunch of wars, nasty wars. How many wars did he stop?
Like in Gaza, like Iran,
he didn't
like
stop
Syria.
Gaza. Hasn't really stopped Syria. Hasn't stopped Iran.
Okay.
But he did
Just
stop
the other ones.
He did stop India and Pakistan with trade. Apparently, he stopped Thailand and Cambodia, Rwanda and Congo.
Because that'll never happen again.
No, it's been going on forever. It'll never. And he
That'll
also
come up again.
On this clip later on, like right after that, where I stopped it, he said Serbia and Kosovo. He stopped that. Which hasn't even. We stopped Serbia and Kosovo. We stopped Athens and Sparta, Crips and the Bloods, Capulets and Montagues, except those teenagers had to die. It was tragic. He's just making stuff up now. He stopped all these wars.
100% he's making it up.
Ridiculous shit. Ridiculous bunch of
That's
crap.
what politicians do. They make up garbage headlines to try to make it look like they're doing something. They're not doing anything.
It's so funny because India and Pakistan are like, no, he didn't. And that
Because
trade
that'll
war,
never come. That'll never come up again. Right?
Oh, by the way, Trump,
that's one and done.
your trade war that you want to conduct on India because we're buying Russian oil. India came out today and said, we're going to keep buying it. So good luck. Good luck with your 25% tariffs. We don't care. Indians don't buy Americans' cars, right? They don't give a shit.
You're right, and they are some of the most protectionist, like tariff policies. You generally, basically, you can't import a car into India. They're so protectionist.
No, it's ridiculous. It's a bunch of horseshit.
Extremely protectionist. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, and then Steve Witkoff is off to Moscow on Wednesday. I think he's supposed to be there on Wednesday. So I guess he's going to go there and stare longingly into Putin's eyes and tell him how great Putin is. I guess that's his job. And then please ask kindly if you would stop your war of aggression. That is your heritage, your lineage, or whatever you want to call it, right? That's Putin's legacy.
Wow!
Please stop that. Please stop your legacy war. Yeah, ridiculous shit.
Back to the nuclear saber rattling. Russia's done this the whole war. They've done it since day one. They said they would use nuclear weapons if their forces trapped around Kherson weren't allowed to leave because they had bungled it so badly. This is what Russia does. They jingle the nuclear option to try to scare you. And by the way, they'll do it 50 times. They're just waiting for you to be dumb enough to listen to them once. Oh my God, I guess they mean business. I think we should cave in. And this is what they do. It's a game they play.
It's so. What makes me so nauseous is Trump actually acknowledged him.
Yeah, right.
Online.
Because he just sits there and surfs online. He's got nothing else to do.
Yeah, but like it's just like all these shit posting analysts on Twitter. They take pride in who bans them. They take pride in who follows them. And if you respond to something you say on Twitter, like if you say something that is, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. But if somebody famous or important responds to your Twitter feed, that is the holy grail for them.
Yeah, I'm a big dog, bro.
This was one of the best days of Medvedev's life.
Oh, 100% it was.
Anyways, let's move on. 100%
it was.
Let's move on. Look, Ukraine, this is all connected to the World War III, theme that we got going on today. Ukraine, here's the title, and this is from the Times of London, I think. That shows my ignorance of where the Times is. But the title is Ukraine hacks Russian submarine, key to Moscow's Arctic expansion, end quote. Apparently, Ukrainian intelligence hacked the latest version of the best Russian nuclear submarine, ICBM submarine, like their boomer, Ohio class. This name of the submarine, and I will kill this, but Knyaz Pozarsky Project 955A Boreal A-class submarine, one of the most advanced elements of the Kremlin's nuclear triad with stealth capability. This submarine has 16 launch silos and can carry 30 intercontinental ballistic missiles with 10 warheads each. So pretty equivalent to our boomer, I guess. Yeah. Apparently, the Ukrainians stole files to include rosters, instructions, technical diagrams, survivability measures, and engineering reports. So this is pretty significant if it's true.
So what are they going to do? I would give it to the U.S. I would give it to the West
on WikiLeaks,
and then I would say I would dump it online. Dump it online. Yeah, that's what I would do.
Here you go. Have at it. I guess the damage is done. Once you know that everything about your submarines, or maybe
Right.
not everything, but once you know critical information requirements have been stolen about your highest technology level nuclear submarine, your nuclear triad is just garbage now. All you got,
Yes.
all you really got, all you know that you have is maybe the tubes and the silos. And those can be taken out by a massive first nuclear strike. In theory, you never know if you got them all. You hope, but maybe even if you don't get them all. I
would call this whole scenario you described as problematic.
for Russia, for the nuclear triad of Russia, because we just had Operation Spider's Web, and I don't like that title. It should be Spider Web, right? Spider Web is cool, not Spider's Web. I think that's the language barrier. But we just had Operation Spiderweb, where they blew up a bunch of strategic nuclear bombers. They've just hacked a submarine, a nuclear ICBM submarine.
Wow.
And we know that nuclear missiles in the silos are vulnerable to massive first nuclear strikes. So, their nuclear deterrent has degraded significantly in the last month.
Oh.
Yeah. How embarrassing for Russia, for the Russian Federation, for the former Soviets. That used to be the only other superpower in the world.
They used to be, and it's interesting to see how far they have fallen. Obviously, at the end of the Soviet Union, at the fall of the late 80s, they were broke. Military was broke. And I've been doing some research on this lately for something I'm working on. And also, just like the U.S., as you and I witnessed at ILE, where the U.S. just couldn't stop fighting World War II, because that's what brought us here, Russia is unable to stop fighting World War II. In their mind, that's what made them the Soviet Union, made them great. They want to get great again, but it was World War II. So they are like stuck in World War II mindset. Maybe less so, but they've been criticized as you learned nothing from Chechnya, you learned nothing from Syria. And that's why you're like, well, why do they keep doing the same stupid stuff over again? In their mind, they're fighting World War II.
Yeah.
Doctrinally, they can't get out of it.
Let me ask you this.
Uh-oh.
How do you hack a nuclear submarine?
It's easy, dude.
Did they go through the Wi-Fi and just guess the password?
802.11 Wi-Fi, bro. Come on.
And so the password was probably Putin or something. And
Putin
they just
2025. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Special military operation 2025. They just,
You're like, dude, I got it. Yeah, like, bro, I got it. I just got in.
It was probably some like 15-year-olds in Kiev.
Yeah.
Like
Zelensky's
fucking
a dick.
around.
2025.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, shit, I'm in.
Oh, I can't believe it. We're in. Hey, we're in. Should I drive it around a bit?
Yeah. Dump the shit on Twitter. Take all the shit in.
So that, and there's one more little news story that came across this weekend. And I will share the screen right now. The title, and comes from militarynews.com, and I'll put it in the show notes.
You know it's good.
It's legit if it comes from something called militarynews.com. The title is, quote, Ukrainian Defense Forces hit space surveillance radar in Crimea.
Ooh, that could be big.
Crimea.
That could be big.
Yeah, this is you don't want to mess around with things that alert you to the presence of things in outer space.
And ICBMs, right? All
exactly.
That stuff.
Yes. Early warning radars that look into outer space, radars that track satellites, radars that track your own satellites, because your nuclear early warning satellites, like our nuclear early warning satellites, you want to know where they are. You want to know how they're doing. You want to make sure nobody is screwing with them, right? Rendezvous and proximity operations that we've talked about many times on this podcast, too many times, probably.
Too many times.
That's strategic nuclear deterrence level stuff you're fucking with right there.
Correct. They are.
So if the United States could give Ukraine all their strategic intelligence that they have on Russia and say, this benign barn-looking place out here in the middle of this steppe in the stands, that is a highly valuable radar fence for outer space.
So for the radar thing, did they hit it?
Yeah, I guess they hit it.
They whacked it.
I don't know if they destroyed it. The battle damage seems kind of sketchy on this article, but apparently they attacked it.
How much does that thing cost? What's the price tag?
I don't know. It could be priceless. You don't have that many of them. It takes a long time to build a space surveillance network on the ground and in space. So who knows? 100 million? 150 million?
This is
200 million?
part of their ICBM, space defense, all that stuff.
I think this one specifically looks at satellites, but you never know. You never know what it's looking at, right? It's a radar. It's looking at outer space. It could have a tangential use for
tangential.
Tangential? Tangential?
I think it's Joel.
Tangential or Joel? Tangential. It has a side use of possibly tracking ballistic missiles as they come exoatmospheric.
Could be important. Just throwing it out there. Could be important.
So all these things taken together. Let's just wrap up the why we're on the brink of global thermonuclear war.
For the Russians, if that thing's whacked out of commission, you are blind. It's like them losing their very limited number of AWACS aircraft. They are blind strategically.
On this glide path, if this war continues for another 10 years, Russia theoretically could lose everything. Like they could lose their early warning radars, their bombers.
I mean, that's the trend. They're on track for that. Like with Ukraine taking out. This isn't the first strategic radar system they've hit. They hit one before a year ago. And I think that the U.S. is like, well, you can't be hitting that stuff. That's part of the mutually assured destruction where the human race can ensure we can annihilate each other efficiently because that's what the human species does. Because that's how cool we humans are. They're like, whoa. We got to continue the mutually assured destruction. Don't fuck with that. Same with the oil. That's global oil prices, what the economy's based on, because we can't figure out how to do solar panels because we're so smart. So it's interesting, trying to put restrictions on what Ukraine can and can't do. If I'm Ukraine, I'm giving you 2 middle fingers, dude. I'm hitting it anyways. Good for you. We're at war. We're getting killed every day. We're blowing up every motherfucking thing we can get to. I'm okay with it.
I wonder if these attacks, the submarine hack and the satellite surveillance network radar dish attack. I don't know.
This is all strategic.
We'll have to come
this is strategic
plan,
stuff.
Though, was this in response to Medvedev's bullshit and then the U.S. moving submarines that shouldn't be moved?
Imagine if it was. Imagine
Wouldn't that be crazy?
Medvedev, you running your mouth, inane, stupid saber rattling because Russia has nothing else to do except saber rattle. Their capabilities are actually limited. One of him running his pie hole got this response.
I would like to think that the Ukrainians could coordinate that. I'm sure the Americans could give the intelligence to Ukraine.
Of course,
and be like, just hit this weird-looking golf ball thing in the middle of Crimea.
Yeah, right. I mean, if you can see it, the adage: if you can see it, you can hit it.
Yeah.
And that's a big, unique thing. And when you see that, it's nothing other than what it is.
Well, all this to say that, in order to increase podcast listenership, we are definitely on the brink of nuclear war.
We're saber rattling. Yes.
Yes. We're podcast rattling to
Sign
increase
Find
listenership
out what
and
the truth
viewership.
is. Yeah, 100%.
That's right. Do your own research. We're not on the brink of nuclear war, regardless of what the Kremlin says. Yeah.
Not there yet. Yeah, fake news.
Okay, let's finish on this fake news. I want to finish on this because
so do I.
This came out 2 days ago over the weekend on YouTube, and it's about the NLAW, the next generation light anti-tank weapon. And what caught my eye was the title. And let me share this.
Is it like N2 law? Like it's the new NLAW?
No, that's what NLAW is, the next generation light anti-tank weapon. Because do you remember the law, right? Our law.
Yeah, it's an old piece of shit from Vietnam.
It's like a tube with a little tiny rocket in it.
Yeah, it's horrible.
And the NLAW is not much better, right? The NLAW is like it really is the next generation light anti-tank weapon.
Well, I would say it's not much better, dude. It's top down. It'll destroy everything it hits. Yeah, it is. Dude, don't show your lack of weapons knowledge, bro. Don't do it.
First of all, we'll get into it. I don't want to get into it right now. But it's not necessarily top down like we think top down strike. It's above the target explosion. It doesn't come down from the top like a javelin, like comparing the two. But the title of this is how the NLAW missile destroyed 40% of Russia's tanks. And then it was Daily Mail.
No, it didn't.
No, it didn't. This is the biggest fake news,
The NLAW is a capable weapon system.
It's fine. It's fine. Look, this is like British propaganda for their military-industrial complex. It caught my eye, and I said, "This is ridiculous bullshit." But let me just play a segment here.
Proved the perfect ambush weapon, as this footage of a column of Russian tanks being taken out near Kiev shows. That blast is thought to have been caused by an NLAW. And this video from Mariupol shows another NLAW ambush, this time from inside a building. That Russian tank is pretty close by. If the soldier had been using a javelin, it would not have had time to arm itself before hitting the target.
Okay, now a couple of things right there. The NLAW doesn't activate within 20 meters either. And that's a famous video. What the reporter doesn't understand is that's a famous video of how not to use anti-tank weapons because you're too close. And he was using it in an ambush, a close ambush, too close. It didn't have the activation range and nothing happened. As you can clearly see in the video, nothing happened to that tank. It's a famous Ukraine war video of how not to do things. Anyways, so basically this guy is saying in the beginning, the Russians were careless, and that's correct. And you could get really close to the convoys, and they were not protected with infantry. If you want to make sure
that's true.
If you want to make sure a guy with a sticky bomb doesn't run up to your tank and stick it on your tank, you got to protect that tank with infantry, right? You got to have some kind of overwatch. But he said, yes, the Russians were careless, and I agree with that. And it was a perfect scenario for the NLAW, which only has like a 600-meter range, right? It's super short range. And so I agree with what he's saying, but I don't agree that 40% of the kills.
They say it's 1,000 meters. They say effective range is out to 800. Maximum is 1,000.
Okay. Well, the javelin is out to like 4,000 meters, and by those metrics.
True that. Now, they do have OTA, overfly top attack, that absolutely detonates 1 meter above the target.
Right, but it doesn't go from the top down into the tank like the javelin does.
Like going down like that. It shoots it down.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So it's not exactly what we think of like top attack. It's kind of like the poor man's top attack. But to the NLAW's credit, I mean, it is a cheap piece of shit anti-tank weapon.
Well, how much does it cost?
Up to $40,000 a piece.
That's
which is way cheaper than a javelin.
Very reasonably priced, yeah.
Which is like $200,000 a piece.
Better than an RPG or whatever shit you were going to use.
Yeah, but those RPGs are free, basically,
relatively
speaking.
$5.
Yeah. And that's another thing is early in the war, the defense of Kyiv, they use a lot of RPG-7s. I mean, they weren't using all NLAWs. They didn't even know how to use NLAWs when the war started. They had to look it up online.
Good enough for a T-72.
Yeah. Anyways, I just wanted to end on that military-industrial complex scam that the British are trying to pass off as actual journalism.
Now, from what
Like
I'm reading
everything.
here, they supplied 2,000 before the war, and then they delivered another 1,600 about a month into the war.
So if all of those hit their targets, they still didn't destroy 40% of all the tanks, Russian tanks. Like if every single one destroyed a tank.
A month into the war, UK pledged to send another 6,000.
Did they? Do we know what they did? They probably did. UK is good about that. They do.
Well, Ukraine is one of the countries that truly hates Russia. Like, regardless of who's in power.
UK, not Ukraine.
Yeah, UK.
But also UK.
But also Ukraine. The UK hates Russia. UK has been steadfast in providing their support.
It's a Margaret Thatcher thing.
Yeah, well, I'm glad someone is. This like used to be a Reagan thing, and now you got a bunch of
oversimplified?
Now the bunch of Russian simps in the GOP now.
Yes, exactly. A bunch of former Ronald Reagan fanboys now turned
Kremlin
Putin
meat puppets.
Putin fanboys. Okay. Hey, good chat. Good chat. We will talk to you on Wednesday. Bye-bye.
Everyone, listenership, if we're still even hot here, you're welcome for the intellectual analysis, the deep dive that we do. We debunk global nuclear warfare trends.
That's right.
That's what we do. It's okay. We're happy to provide the service.
That's what we do. You're welcome. Bye-bye.
The Flash Traffic Podcast.